Hello, I'm Tony Hartsgrove, CEO of ODC Construction. Welcome aboard. We wanted to take some time to just talk to you about different principles at ODC, our mission, our values, our purpose, and all of that sort of thing. But before I begin with that, I want to start with kind of what we've come to realize is the most important piece of our culture, and that's our why. We've kind of had a why for a long time, but in the past few years we've tried to define it and make sure that everybody in the company that both works with us internally as you will and externally as our customers do, just know why we're doing what we're doing. It's easy to say that we build shells, or we do construction, or that we pour foundations, or that we do accounting, or we do purchasing or sales or operations. But really, before we can begin with all of that, we need to understand why. Why do we want what we do at ODC to be important? Why do we want our culture to be important? And the answer really is you. The why at ODC is our employees, and we do this so that we can all kind of come together and realize that work is important, and getting shells done and getting construction done is important, but what is more important is our individual employees living their lives. The fact that you can build a life, that kids can go to college, that kids can do certain things, that there can be retirement, there can be vacations, and that people can kind of like come together here and we can achieve goals, but if we all achieve our goals well, we can grow, and then we can grow our lives better. And so really I just want to make sure as we're going through that, and as you're going through all of your onboarding here, that you understand that the most important why at ODC is the employees, and it is you. Okay, let's begin by talking about our mission statement. And I'll read it, and then I just want to kind of get into what we really believe our mission is, our vision, and all that sort of thing. But we want to build success for our customers while delivering excellence in construction management, construction quality, and customer service. It's pretty straightforward. What we're after is making sure that everybody understands that we are intentional about what we do. We're intentional about our construction management. We're intentional about quality, and we're intentional about service. Our mission is to make sure that both internally and externally, everyone knows that when we do something, we do it with intention. Now let's talk about our values. We have pretty fundamental values in partnership, quality, service, efficiency, excellence, and cleanliness. Again, these are pretty straightforward, but when each one of them, we want to make sure that we're taking ownership and what they actually mean, that they're not just lip service, but that we actually do it. With partnership, we actually want to make sure that we're putting things in place to make sure that we are partnering, and that we're getting the feedback from both our internal and external customers on what that means, that we're finding out whether we are partnering with them. With quality, we want to make sure that not just saying that we're doing quality, but that we're measuring quality, that we're finding out from our customers exactly what the feedback is on quality. Service, efficiency, excellence, cleanliness, all the same. Just we're constantly focused on, is the customer feeling what we're intending on doing in these areas? Now, moving on to our purpose. Really, our purpose is what starts to separate us from others, just as I said with our why. Our purpose is that we build from the why. We think we have the how figured out. We think we can get into all the different processes that makes us what we are, but those processes are just processes if we don't start and build from the why. And so, as I alluded to earlier when we talked about everything beginning from the why, when we come at it from this is important because it's important to all the employees and it's important for us to all grow our lives, when we start to address our mission and all of our different vision from a place of why, that's when we can become successful at ODC, and that's when we can separate ourselves from the competitor. A few years ago, we decided to begin to define our culture. There was something at ODC that was making us different than others, and there was a feeling around the office and in the field that we were just a little bit different. We were growing, the customer was liking what we were doing, And it became time for us to kind of define something that we knew always existed. And so we endeavored to put our culture into a few different principles. And in the end, we came up with 10 different principles. And right now, I just want to go through kind of what those are, what they mean to me. And it'll be interesting for you to talk to all the different employees, because while they all start with catchphrases, in the end, they actually mean different things to every person. And that's what makes ODC's culture great, is that we all come together from our own place to get to the same principles. The beginning principle is really the same thing that we've been talking about all along, which is never forget the why. If we start all of our different actions at ODC, and if we come at every different situation with what the why is, then we'll be able to kind of always get to the answer. And so just do everything with intention and make sure you're focused on the goal. But the goal is the employee. The goal is for us to all grow our lives together and to advance our lives. When you're coming at it from the why, really the next most of these principles start to just build on each other. And I think you'll find the theme is that as we kind of get into there's just different layers of our principle. And really, we felt like the next best thing is to come at everything from just not being a jerk. Sometimes we use a different word than jerk, but we'll stay with it here. And really, as I think through this, it starts to become clear that, like, while these principles are our guiding principles, they're not always followed, even by myself, you know. And so in this business, it's construction. It's very confrontational. You often find yourself in a situation where one person is wanting to win, you're wanting to win, and so how do we get to the answer? And if you come at it from don't be a jerk, then you're really going to kind of free yourself to just not have to worry about it. If you kind of one of the things I talk about often here is that I'm a pretty smart guy. I can usually get to the answer pretty quick. And in that case, you can be a jerk. And in every single case, every single time that I've been a jerk, I've come to regret it later. And so if more and more you can remember those, there's times with a customer where I knew I was right, and I just had times where I could just show them how much I was right. We end up not having to work later because we decided to prioritize our own need to win. And that's really what being a jerk is about, is prioritizing your own need to win. And if you can let that go and just really kind of focus on what the easiest solution is that kind of everybody can win. That doesn't mean you have to give in. It just means that you don't have to come at it from a perspective of winning, and that you can kind of just sort of give away that need to be a jerk. As you go through your journey at ODC, this next principle is going to be something that you're just not going to be able to run from, and you're going to remember me talking about it. Once you come at it from not being a jerk and you understand your why, all our decisions have to be based in data. So our third principle is respect the data. And what that means is if you can approach a decision based on what the data is telling you, not what your gut or not what you want or not what you did at whatever company you were at before, but what is the data telling us to do, that frees you to actually make the decision. And we want decisions to be based in data so that way we're much more flexible and we're much more sure of what we're doing. So we're going to go out of our way to provide you with the amount of data you need to make decisions. So if you're in a world where you know the why and you're not trying to be a jerk and you have enough data to make a decision, this frees you to just work on making sure you're satisfying the customer. So while some people are better with numbers and other people aren't as better with numbers, I don't want you to be intimidated by the fact that we're data driven, because we're going to go out of our way to try to make sure that data is something that's usable for everybody. And if not, then get with someone and let's make sure that we get the right training. But you definitely need to be feeling comfortable with your ability to kind of look through the data in all the decisions you do. Next principle we talk about is just get stuff done. And what are we really after there? We want you to make a decision at ODC. We know that you're not coming at it from a place of being a jerk. We know that there's data based on it. And so just do it. Just do it. If we end up going and getting something done and it wasn't quite what we wanted it to do, I would rather that we did it and then when we figured it out than not making a decision, not doing something. Don't be paralyzed by whether I'm doing the right thing or not doing the right thing. If you're coming at it from the why, you're respecting the data and you're not trying to be a jerk, pull the trigger. Get something done, and then we'll figure out how to train up and make sure if it wasn't right. But in general, I doubt we'll ever have problems with that, because if you're an employee at ODC and you believe in what you're doing, getting stuff done is just going to be the next right move. So one of the things we want to make sure everybody in ODC understands is that we're going to change. I've worked in different organizations. I've come from organizations where people are afraid of change. And let's face it, everybody has a different comfortability with change. We don't mean change to be where like one day it's different, this day it's different. We mean flexibility. We mean that if you're looking at the data, you're making decisions, you're not coming at it from a jerk, and you understand the why of what you're doing, if change is necessary, let's do it. And let's face it, the way the world evolves, change is often necessary. So let's embrace that change and let's make the right changes so that we can be the best company we can be and have the best culture so that our employees can do the best they can. Punch above your weight. What that means is don't be afraid to go above and beyond. Let's do more. Let's be courageous at ODC. We know that we're coming at it from a position of everybody here wants to do more for ODC. So if we all just try to do a little bit more, that'll advance the ball for everybody in the company. And when the ball gets advanced for everybody in the company, we just continue to succeed. And so when you look at something, don't just try to get it done. Let's try to get it done as good as you can, and let's do more than you normally would do. And if we all just have that little bit more, just think of how we can all accomplish our goals together. Really in line with all of that is, maybe this could have been the first principle, because it ends up being the one that's going to show the most, but just care more. If you care more, that will show. The customer will know if you care more. Your other employee that needs something from your department will know if you care more. If everybody collectively cares more, think of the organization we can be. And it doesn't take that much. It doesn't take that much because you know we're building from the why. You know we're immersed in the data. You know that we're all trying to punch above our weight. And so if we all just care more than we think we should, think about what we can do for each other. Just as you're going through life and you're thinking, we all have goals. This is construction. And so in the end, we have deadlines. We have slabs that need to be poured on a certain date. We have tasks that need to be done every day. And so we become very goal focused on all those tasks. But just remember to zoom out. Remember what the thing you're doing today has to do with what's going on that week, and has to do with what's going on that month, and has to do with what's going on that year. And if we all just realize that while we need to get our tasks done and we need to be very task driven and very goal driven, we need to zoom out and just remember that all of this is for all of us, and that all of this is so that we can kind of enjoy great lives and we can enjoy a great culture and a great company. And the more we can build, we can do that. So you want to punch above your weight, you want to care more, and you want to be task driven and count on change. But as we're going through different challenges, we want to zoom out and make sure that we're focused on what those challenges are in the grand scheme of things. And similar to the zooming out is just thinking about the business is just math and execution. In the end, we have procedures, we have processes, we're respecting the math and the data, and so we're free to go execute. We're free to go just make a decision and go on. And so I just encourage you to not complicate things, not make things about some sort of drama, not worry about what other people might be making into a story or not a story. In the end, if we boil everything down to what we're doing, to just the math, the execution, and how much we care and get stuff done, then it frees us to just not be so constrained by just all these different scenarios. Just execute, and we'll get it all done. And finally, just remember the dream. Remember what we're here to do. Of course, every day is going to be bogged down by entering something in Excel, entering something into whatever computer system you have, making sure a slab is poured, making sure we got an inspection, or calling the customer or whatever. But the dream is us. The dream is all of us, and also remember that what we're building is a home for someone. And it's the most important thing that they will ever buy. It's definitely, generally, as I understand it, the biggest purchase anybody will ever buy. And so while we're working on different components on that, remember that we're building the American dream for people. And they can't do it without all of us really caring more. So I just want to wrap this up. Obviously, we've talked a lot about our goals, our vision, our principles. And as I started from the beginning, it really all comes down to the why. And I can't stress enough, if you really want to kind of make a difference at ODC and make a difference in your life, and what has really made ODC what ODC is that we focus on our why. And so I just challenge you, as you're growing your career here, to really think, what is the why? We know you need to work. We know you need to pay bills. We know you love to do what you're doing. But why are you doing what you're doing? And why are we building this company? And so just think through your personal, whys and how you can kind of get into that. And welcome aboard, and we can't wait to get started.